Brightmoor Artisans Collective is a nonprofit community organization that partners with a lot of the farms in the area as well as a lot of the youth. We've got several different components that factor in local produce as well as education. We really try to provide opportunities for distribution as well as accessibility for community members to come in and learn about all of the produce that is available here, as well as how to grow it, how to process it, how to start businesses around it. Having gardens so near our facility and just near households and that residents can come out and they can see it, they can be a part of it, they can harvest things. It's so much more productive than it just being a vacant lot. For starters, if it's just a vacant lot in these sorts of areas, sometimes there's dumping. But if you have something beautiful, people can relate to that, right? They want things to stay beautiful. They see kids there, they see people experiencing it and learning from it, and most of the time people come back and they want to be a part of it. Having food so close to home is really, really important. The difference between the produce you're going to find in these farms and the produce you're going to find in the grocery store is night and day. There's a really, really big difference between like a fresh radish, right, and something that's been sitting on the shelf for a while. So having something so close to the cafe, we know that what we're giving people is always going to be as fresh as possible. Having our neighbors and our friends grow food for our cooking classes, chances are they're going to donate the produce, right? So the kids are learning about community engagement, what it's like to give back to your community. They're learning, hey, that's my neighbor. Now I know that I can go over there for fresh snap peas, right? Like I can be a part of everything that they've got going on. It's really not, it's not all individual farms, it's an entire community effort. Kids and teens are a huge part of what we do. Even from the very beginning, the organization, it's survey driven, right? It's input driven. So everything that happens there happens because somebody asked for it, right? Somebody said, this is something that I think would be cool, or this is a need that I'm finding, right? Like the closest grocery stores is a pretty good distance away. It's about 2 miles from here. So for us, we're like, I could walk, I could bike, right? But if you're a small child, maybe that's less accessible. If you're handicapped, if you don't have a vehicle, there's a lot of barriers to that. The kids say we want somewhere where we can go to have fresh food, right? Sometimes they say we don't understand why that's important, right? So education is a huge component of that. They actually help facilitate a lot of the programs. So we have a youth-led cooking class. So adults are there to make sure that everything is going really smoothly, but the kids are a big part of like what recipes we use. And a lot of the time they're helping like the older kids that have been through the programs, they're helping the younger kids understand about like knife safety and like food safety and processing. So BAC specifically works with a lot of food entrepreneurs. So some folks have their own brick and mortar and we partner with them at different events. Other folks are looking to have their own brick and mortar eventually, but aren't to that point yet, so they need somewhere to process their goods. We just actually, when we opened up our cafe, we started doing restaurant pop-ups. It gives small food businesses the opportunity to see what it's like to have a restaurant for a night, so they get to use our cafe and serve their goods. It's creating variety in food options for people in the neighborhood, which is really cool. There's a lot of different cultural varieties of food that come through. A lot of them are sourcing produce directly from the farms in the neighborhood, so we get to act as a really interesting conduit between where the produce is grown and eventually how people are going to end up consuming it. So it's nice to connect farms to those small food businesses, especially the ones that are processing right in our building.